What's up and welcome back to the Kinda Funny Gamescast for Friday, June 6th, 2025. Of course, I'm your host, Tim Geddes. I'm joined by Blessing Adeoye Jr.
Good day, Tim.
Greg Miller.
Hello, Tim.
And Andy Cortez.
Y'all got to give up on Half-Life 3, man. It's not happening, dude. This is not happening.
We just watched Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest 2025, co-hosted by Lucy James. Very cool to see. She crushed it. We love you, Lucy. But we are now going to review what we just saw, break it all down, and let you know our highs and lows, games we're excited for, new game announcements that we are now maybe putting on our fantasy critic.
Well,
maybe
why would
trying
you say,
to get
why would you
back
say
in
those
the
words?
game.
Why would you say those
You
words?
know?
We were all thinking it.
Yeah, but like maybe not everybody.
Maybe not everybody.
Maybe not everybody was thinking
I'm
it.
so fucked, man. But now I'm so fucked now, Andy, that it's like, whatever. Like, now I can only play to fuck someone else over. Which,
okay.
you know,
I mean,
I got revenge on the
How about
mind
you
with a
team up
couple
with
of
me?
us.
Yeah, he's only ever been good to
The
you.
most unlikely. I celebrated him.
He celebrated me. All right, everyone. You know, this
Changed
is
all
the
my plans
Gamescast.
around for the championship parade so he could be there for his Pokemon Go.
Each and
I
every
still have the
weekday.
most money in the fantasy critics. So actually, I'm not scared of any of you guys. You guys are fucked.
We do the show. It's you know what the show is. I don't need to explain to you. We've been kicking ass. We've been doing a lot of content. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. And the fun is not over. This Sunday, we do have the Xbox showcase. So stay tuned and hang out with us all day on Sunday as we react to Xbox and then break it down in a similar fashion to what we are doing right now. You can watch that live on Twitch or YouTube. Get it later on podcast services around the globe. If you want to go above and beyond, you can get the Kinda Funny membership. It gets you the shows ad-free and an exclusive daily Greg Way. Today, there are 2 Greg Ways going up, so you have double the fun because I missed yesterday's. So thank you for your patience there. But if you're on Twitch, if you have Amazon Prime, that means you got Twitch Prime.
You are Twitch Prime.
You should use it, and you can get the show on Twitch ad-free. So that's fantastic, too. Thank you to our Patreon producers, Carl Jacobs, Omega Buster, and Delaney Twining. Today we're brought to you by X-Reel, but we will tell you about that later. Let's get to the topic of the show.
And
Summer
super
Game
chat
Fest.
your reviews.
Yes, please super chat your reviews of the show and what games you are most excited about. Summer Game Fest 2025. Barrett, can you bring up the review scale, please? So we can look at it.
And
And I want to start with Greg Miller.
why is it always me?
It's not. I try to shake it up. Dude, do you want to go first?
No, I was gonna say usually it feels like it's always me because
I'll
I'm right
go
next to
first.
Tim.
Andy
Andy.
Cortez, what did you think of this showcase?
I will break the cycle. I thought that this showcase was cool because I got to spend time watching watching video games with my friends. And I totally agree with every initial point that Jeff makes in that intro speech of it's important to have eyes on the things. Otherwise, my bad brain forgets a lot of these things. So, like, I'm not the type to even really hate on presentations anymore, even if they were, Embracer Group sort of bad during several years ago during the pandemic. Coach Media. That
Yep.
being said, this is still a Summer Game Fest showcase, and I would say that I was a bit more disappointed. I still think that, with how he has been tweeting the past couple days, I didn't expect anything to kind of blow me away. There were still some awesome surprises, but I'm not the Resident Evil 9 guy or the Resident Evil fan, so like that doesn't do a whole lot for me, but I recognize what that does for the video game community, and that's awesome. Liza P. Shadow Drop, awesome as hell. And there was some other cool titles that I can't wait to get to whenever we get to them, but I would say if I were to give a score, I'd give it 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10, okay, on the kind of funny
Yeah.
scale. All right, Greg, you ready?
Sure, thank you.
Go for it.
Yeah, I think, we know what Summer Game Fest is going to be, right, as a presentation. It's going to be 2 hours, and Jeff has to fill those 2 hours however he can. I think he did an interesting job of setting the stage. You know what I mean? To come out and be like, hey, here's the best-selling games on Steam. So many of them are small teams, ... It wasn't until we were deeper in where I was like, oh, you did that, and now you're calling out, this is a 38-person team. This is because that's what this year is. I think we could have gone harder. I always talk about writing a review, right, is just persuasive writing. Writing a script for a show like this is as well. I think we could have had a thesis statement a little earlier of like, hey, this year it is all about the smaller teams and the smaller announcements and this, that, and the other. Not doing that, but still being Jeff Keighley and still being Summer Game Fest and still being Hideo Kojima and Mads Mikkel. Like, we expect a certain level of a few pops throughout this, and I felt like this was a year where Summer Game Fest as a presentation really didn't have those pops. On top of that, and I'd like to imagine you all know how much I love independent video game developers, smaller game devs. It's not that. The problem I had here was I felt so many games look alike. This is, for me personally, going to be one of those years of the trailer pops up or we mention a game and I'm like, all right, which one of the wet folks dripping in black stuff with a scythe fighting the thing was? Like, there was just so many. I felt like I made a joke early on about, oh man, Bloodborne ruined action RPG. And that was a joke for the record. But it was like, oh man, there are so many other games that I feel fall into that. It's this horror thing that isn't this thing and da-da-da-da-da. And so you get into a lose-lose situation for Jeff of you can't take a Summer Game Fest off. You should highlight smaller games and smaller teams. And if this is what's coming to you, it's what's coming to you. And we are talking about a very competitive landscape for showcases where you have things like 6-1 Indie doing theirs, right? You have us with the mix in GDC. You have Wholesome Games. You have Day of the Devs happening right now. You have Xbox. You have a PlayStation State of Play. Like, clearly there are big players out there, small players out there that are doing things. But I think what you're seeing when you look at a Wholesome Games or a 6-1 Indie, they get to massage their message better and really have a vision for this is what you're getting. And so for the vision, I don't think to be as strong at the front of we're doing independent, we're doing small teams, here. I want to introduce you to the next Claire Obscure. I want to introduce you to the next. Not having that and just kind of this felt like one that didn't have a through line to it. Usually the through line is it's the biggest games of the summer or whatever. It just didn't work here. So now that I've given up my very long thesis, I would give this, I think, a 5 out of 10 on the Kind of Funny scale. A mediocre. That's not a knock. Again, it's just what I think of watching it or whatever. I think there's shining stuff in here of like, oh, I'm excited for that game. But I think the majority of the games for me are going to be what was that one again? Or, well, yeah, okay. Oh, which Game of Thrones is that? Oh, the RTS. Oh, okay.
If they didn't end with Resident Evil 9, it would have been, I think, a disaster.
Yeah.
Like, to have that little tease and even to see how bummed out Tim and Blessing were in that moment of like, why would you just say, we'll have something new coming up to announce? I was like, wow, that's going to be a real big bummer if you don't end with something like Half-Life 3 or something of that magnitude. But they still ended with Resident Evil 9, which was nice.
Bless.
Yeah, I can agree more with what Greg just said, right? I think, handshake.
Pleasure hanging out.
Yeah. I think my thing with it, and I'm a 5 out of 10 as well, is to Greg's point, when I think of my time with the showcase, right? It's hard for you to be salty with a showcase like this because...
And I'm not either.
And I don't think any of us are, right? But like, I think to kind of balance out where I'm at, where I'm about to be, right? For me, it is the thing of, I look at games like Felt That Boxing. I look at games like Lego Voyagers. I look at Liza P. Overture. I look at Acts of Blood. There's a large amount of games here where I'm like, man, I'm so fucking excited about video games. Man, video games are so cool. Man, I'm coming out of this showcase being with a handful of games that I cannot fucking wait for. And I think with that, I'm high on it as far as like, oh shit, I'm really excited about the future of this. I think to balance that out, though, the big problem here is the construction of the show. And funny enough, 6-1 Indie came to mind for me as well, which is a show that most of the people watching this have not seen. It's an indie showcase, and I watched it a few weeks ago when it went up. And that show had way better construction. And to your point, Greg, like they teed the games up very well of, oh, now let's take a look at these comedy games. Now let's take a look at, this category of games, right? And they're able to make those montages make sense and make those trailer showcases very exciting and interesting. I look back at the Annapurna showcases that we've gotten before that do such a great job of teeing up devs and creating stories, creating through lines that keep us engaged and interested. The big problem here and why I would give this showcase a 5 out of 10 is when I think about the goal of Summer Game Fest and what you're here to do, you're here to put people on, right? You're here to put people on to games that they might not have heard of. You're, of course, here to showcase like the big, new, exciting games or whatever, right? But when we're talking about years that might be down years, guess what? You want people to be hyped as fuck for Acts of Blood and all the games, Lego Voyagers and Felt That Boxing, these games that I'm naming. And when you have that coupled with so much bloat, so much downtime, so much of a showcase where I'm kind of like bored, wanting to pick up my phone, not really caring about what's on screen, to Greg's point, having a bunch of Souls games that for a lot of people do mold together, even for me, and I'm sure for Andy too, right? Like, I see Code Vein, Liza P. Overture is hype as fuck, right? But I see quite a few of these Souls things, and I'm like, yeah, like when you have these spread out through the show like this, they kind of meld together in a certain way. That's not doing the games that stand out as service, because then it's like, I'm just not excited throughout the whole thing, right? Like, you want to do these games as service, and I wonder does this need to be 2 hours? Could this have been an hour-long show? We get into the argument of paying the bills and the commercials and all that stuff, but you got to balance it because you got to maintain the show as something that has prestige and something that people want to pay attention to and want to tune in for and are excited for. And so I came out of this with a lot of games I'm excited for, but I think this year needed some work as far as the pacing and construction.
I think something goes with the prestige as well. Like we've seen what Keeley and with the names that he's been able to get in the past, and you also can't force big developers to say, show me your big game or show me something even though you're not ready. I don't care. So I totally get that part of it. But when the collection of games we saw here is as stoked as I'd be if I watched the Future Games Showcase, which was like a couple weeks ago, and I saw about 7 to 10 games. I'm like, oh, those all look really cool. Let me write those down. This kind of felt like that level, which is, that sounds like I'm kind of, talking shit about it, but I think you can still have those selection of games along with the larger big titles. And if you don't, it's going to feel like another one of these showcases that is the Future Game Showcase or
a wish list showcase.
Yeah.
Hey, here's some cool stuff to see and add to your list and do it. I think it's the idea that, and tell me if I'm out of school on this one, but it's the idea that that's not what a Jeff showcase traditionally is, or at least what we think about it. When we think about SGF, we're thinking about maybe they have Half-Life 3, maybe they have this. When we think about Jeff, we think maybe they have Half-Life 3, maybe they have something from Naughty Dog.
I've never been more proud of you guys talking about the storytelling of these showcases. You know what I mean? Yes, we need to care about that stuff. In this show, we needed to care a little bit more about that stuff. This was a hard watch, I would say, and I think there's a lot of reasons for that. I'm in line with all of you. I'm between the 5 and the 6, and I think I'm actually going to settle on the 5.5 because we do that here. And the reason for that, the reason I'm thinking 6 is while, yes, there was just a lot of games here or whatever, I'm looking at a lot of these smaller titles and how many of them I'm legitimately interested. Not just that looks cool, but the Felt That Boxing, Out of Words, Acts of Blood, the Scott Pilgrim EX. There's a fair amount of games here. Into the Unwell.
Dude, Blighted.
Blighted, there's so many of those games that they're not just that looks kind of neat. It's these could be the next big indie games that we're talking about. So I don't want to overlook that fact where it's I do think that they delivered on the let's show up for the small teams and showcase these games well. But when you surround it with a lot of, let's call it noise, and I'd call it that both on the clear gotcha commercials, which again, commercials pay the bills. They have to happen, and I totally understand that. I think they can be and should be presented better. And on top of that, it's the AAA games are here, but when there's showcases every single day, legitimately, James Bond is probably going to come up multiple more times this weekend. That kind of sucks. We've even back in the day, we would not like when Call of Duty showed up multiple times throughout the weekend. And I feel like the big James Bond game stuff feels like a paid ad when you have a guy come up on stage that we're just get this guy off the stage. That's not fun. And I feel like these showcases need to be fun. Even the Kojima stuff, I think it's I know people's opinions are split on the Kojima. I think having them there is awesome. You should always have Kojima. Maybe don't take that long, though, if you don't really have anything to say. If it's just getting hype for Death Stranding, which I think there's value to in a showcase celebrating games and bringing in eyes and all that. But no music performance, no, even kind of fun thing like that to kind of celebrate in a different way that I think could have really broke up the pacing in a necessary way. And I'm not talking about paid advertisement music or what the fuck, why are you doing this? But Expedition 33 music that would have got a lot of people hyped in a way and would have pissed other people off. That's opinions. That's how things go.
We're going to have that for Game Awards, Game of the Year. We can't show it.
But I also, they got Resident Evil. The expectations for what a Jeff show could be. That wasn't at a PlayStation thing. I think the shift of power of expecting Resident Evil to be at PlayStation, but now Resident Evil 9, the next core Resident Evil game, announced today, a Keighley Summer Show. I think that's a good sign for the Keighley Summer Shows. But I hated how they announced it. I legitimately that. To say I'm offended is way too extreme, but
Obviously.
That sucked. That was not fun. That was not cute. That was just I was already not into the show, and it made me kind of hate the show. And, it's not a fun you got me type thing. And by the end of it, it's oh look, I am hyped on RE9. Everything we saw there, going back to Raccoon City after the bomb.
Yeah, that's
that
cool.
sounds very, very cool to me. Requiem, sick ass name. I'm all about that stuff. But then there's other things where clearly I fucking love Onimusha. I can't wait for this game to come back. Do we need to keep seeing it this way?
Yeah,
I don't think we do.
When we look at games like, and I don't want to compare Onimusha to Mecha Break and Splitgate 2, right? But they're the brand of games where it's once they start showing up too much, they then turn into the noise of a Call of Duty presentation that makes me go, all right, cool. This is now just noise to me.
Yeah.
Even though there is hype for Onimusha.
Yeah. So, and even then, like the Onimusha trailer, it's like it does show me even more of like, okay, they're keeping the spirit of Onimusha alive, and we haven't seen that much yet. Like we are getting these like over the top characters, which they could have just moved on from, and it could have been a way more modern, traditional, like I'm serious as hell samurai game. It's not that, thank God. But otherwise, it's like it's tough because there was so much good stuff here. Mina the Hollower got a release date. We were looking forward to that. Liza P got a shadow drop. That's awesome. Multiple game demos and stuff dropped today that were like, that's pretty freaking cool. But there's just so much other stuff, and I think the way it was presented, I feel
like it dragged it down, right? Like I feel like looking through my notes, and I was starting to highlighting games that I care about. And I talk about like I'm highlighting a lot of stuff, but it's like, oh, like yeah, you're talking about Mina the Hollower. Like how long has everybody been waiting for that? And it happened, but it's kind of like, okay, this wasn't. So many times you look at it, oh my God, we're already an hour 15 in. I don't want this to end. I was looking at the clock
for sure,
being like, what's going on? How much more do we have? Real quick, breaking news that me and Blessing care about from Day of the Devs. Escape Academy 2 Back to School has been announced. Fuck yeah,
let's go.
2026. Can't wait.
That's awesome,
Dude, Mina the Hollow looks great.
It does look great. Again, it's not a knock on the game.
Really, really great news to come out of this. This is breaking news as well. I got my soul frame code from being in the Twitch chat. Yeah.
Wait, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, did you have to chat in the chat or
No, you just gotta be there.
Okay, because I did the same thing. Let me see.
Super pumped. Yeah, check your Twitch extensions or whatever your rewards.
I got it too. I got soul frame too.
Yeah,
we're in there.
Let's
fucking go.
All right, let's go through
Solar
this.
Sunbro said, Greg is just mad there aren't more shallow Nintendo games on display. Who the fuck are you? Why not? Nintendo games. At least give me a fucking shallow
Greg,
trophy
you're the
game.
biggest Nintendo fan
What the fuck are you
I
talking
know.
about?
You love those shallow.
What,
Nintendo
Fantasy
games.
Life I, a game people have 200 hours in, sir?
You gotta say like if you want to make fun of Greg, you gotta talk about games with like dead dads and stuff like that.
Love a good dead dad.
Yeah.
A couple super chats real quick before we get into our thoughts on stuff. Opponents Prime give it a 6 out of 10. That wet fart of a trailer for Death Stranding 2 set the tone for this whole show. RE9 couldn't save this from being one of the most boring SGFs in years. They can't always be bangers. Save us, Xbox. Still have very high hopes for Xbox. I think that
Me too.
they're going to show
yeah.
up.
More than ever, because again, I would hope that the fact that Jeff's here with stuff that it's smaller team, it means that everybody's holding their things because PlayStation in a good state of play. Now, can we get a good Xbox showcase out of this, a good Outer World?
No Xbox stuff here too, which, that I feel means we're going to get port announcements, which is cool and exciting, but then also new games, like all the new games from Xbox.
It's a great call out that the Death Stranding trailer or new footage of Death Stranding, it was two people talking to each other. And like,
that was
like,
not a great.
That is so kind of emblematic of not even the Death Stranding 2 trailer could have had weird shit that made me go, oh, what the hell is going on? It was just two amazingly rendered actors.
Yes.
Like just kind of
And they both
conversing.
got
As the person who went and played 30 hours of a preview, this made no sense to show. By the way, like made no sense to show.
Yeah.
Not to mention we've kind of seen it already. I know this is extended, but it's like, I was like, oh, when they hug at the end, I guess was the new part. Oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah, didn't like that.
Didn't like it.
No, sorry.
Keenan
Nintendo
Delaney
fan.
says, Liza P, Mina the Hollower, and RE9. Yes. Otherwise, meh. Kebab says 6 out of 10. Most excited for Lego Voyage. Lucy was great.
Dude, Lego Voyage, man.
Looks awesome.
That looks
Incredible.
great. We got a 2-player that shit.
High Voltage says, Elisa Ashcroft is a character from RE Outbreak, a very possible connection to the new game. Yeah, that's hilarious. RE Outbreak was like the first multiplayer Resident Evil game on PS2. So like, all right, yeah, let's go back to that. Let's start at the top of the show.
Can I say one thing?
Yes.
Was I wrong? I didn't see one Switch 2 logo or wordage anywhere. All press releases are talking about Switch that I've been getting.
It was just during one of the commercials. There was a Switch 2 logo that popped up and the crowd cheered, and then it was just a commercial for some, not Switch 2, but for some game coming to Switch 2.
Can I shout out a couple things that were missing? Silk Song. Do we not just expect that at Xbox?
Absolutely not.
We're Silk Song.
Don't expect it this weekend.
right.
Don't do that. Like
You know what,
Andy
you're
said,
right,
give
you're right.
up on Half-Life 3. Give up on Silk Song.
Also,
up on that.
the streets that this week have been talking about the God of War was like Greek Project 2.5D game. That's not here.
You're right. Yeah.
Where the fuck is that?
That is
Not
interesting.
real.
Really kind of surprised by.
That's also on my fantasy critic.
really surprised by
Game is cooked.
the Arc Raiders like non-news, unless there's been something that's happened in a press release after the fact that always kind of happens randomly, where you're like, oh, why didn't they say this during the show? But that was really shocking to not even have for the June 6th date that was being data mined in the game, to not even say that, oh, that's the new date for a new, network test or a new beta.
Yeah. Sean Spagner says, there were no games that got me. The show was an absolute stinker, getting a 2 out of 10 from me.
I don't believe you.
It could have been a tweet. I'm here to support y'all.
No games that got me.
Not even one?
I don't
Could've
believe
been
it.
a tweet, I think, is a bit much.
Like, I understand being very disappointed, but the no games that got me. That's crazy.
Let's go through these.
I'm into Pong likes.
If it ain't a brick breaker, I don't want to know about it.
Started off with Mortal Shell 2, 2026. PlayStation, PC, Xbox.
Heavy metal.
Blessing, what's up with that? What's up with?
I don't know, man. Neither of us. Like,
As you were,
it's a game.
You mentioned that you played a couple hours of it, and I haven't. So I was going to be Blessing. You're the Mortal Shell
I didn't
guy.
say a couple hours. I said 15 minutes.
Oh, okay, got
I
you,
booted
got
it up,
you.
did one parry, and I was like, I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing that was completely evident in this showcase is something that Greg brought up, and how the monotonous nature of a lot of these very dark-looking fantasy games with really, really grotesque creatures and shit, and everything is looking like they are going for that From Software thing. I think one thing that is supremely evident is how talented so many of these teams are, and how amazing they look. They make so many of these visuals look, and it's no longer just going to be a thing where it's not that it is now starting, but it's not just like you need a big team to make your game look amazing. You could be a team of 40 or 50, and you can pump out something like that. It looks amazing. Will I try it out? Yeah, I feel like I have to try it out as a Souls fan, but I don't expect much from it. As somebody who only watched Lawrence Sontag play and stream part 1, it's never something that I actually booted up.
For me, it's like when you're watching one of those like singing contest reality shows, like a whatchamacallit?
Wings of Voice.
Yeah, like the voice, or like American Idol or some shit, right?
Yeah.
Of like you get to the final 5, and they're all talented people, but only one of you is gonna survive. It's gonna be From Software. There's only gonna be one winner in this fucking space. Like I look at the first Berserker Kazan as like a prime example for me of a game that is so fucking good, but like I played probably half of it, and after a while I was just like, brother, I played this game a million times in the last few years, right? Like, we're making Souls likes left and right, and I don't have time for them all. So, but it looks really cool.
It looks really, really impressive.
Next up, we had Fortnite, the Galactic Battle 5, Death Star Sabotage, coming June 7th, tomorrow. Got to blow up the island so we can get Superman on Battle Pass. That's a note from Greg.
That's all I care. Yeah, of course. The Fortnite Battle Pass leaked as it always does, and it had Superman front and center, of course, from the new movie, and then Tim Drake Robin next to him. So there's rumors that maybe it'll be a DC pass, maybe it'll just be superhero pass, maybe it'll be just a page of superheroes. But that's what I'm excited for. So I'm excited to get through all of this.
No.
My thing about, I mean, to give you more. Well, no, I mean, to give you more. The Death Star is going to blow up the island, they said, right? We always talk about, even though this isn't our game, like what a cool moment that is when they do these things that change the game and everybody plays together. And then, even for me, if it's a superhero battle pass, I don't think I'll play Fortnite. I don't think I'll play it this season. There's too much going on.
Next up, Kojima, Death Stranding 2. Solid Snake Man, a.k.a. Neil, is a porter. Okay.
Which honestly, like, I played 30 hours of this video game. I would prefer not to know that. I would prefer to like discover that, and like, like there are things in that trailer I'm like, that's interesting. And I'm not gotten to. That's wild. Also, made no sense to show this here. There are so many cool cutscenes in this video game that I can think of that you should have showed this audience. Not that one.
You should have just showed off that 9-minute trailer again and just acted like nobody had seen it before.
Yeah,
that would have been way more.
Yeah,
but it's so much more into it.
Yeah, kind of a stinker. For sure.
100%.
Then we had Chronicles Medieval, Early Access 2026. The devs Raw Power Games. Tom Hardy narrating. A little trailer there.
So he's not in it?
They made a point that he was narrating. I don't know. I don't know if he's actually in it or not.
Yeah, definitely not at all my type of game. But it was kind of cool seeing like the general with like the army approaching the cliff and then having the other army. I'm like, I haven't really played a game that like felt that way, but I never will.
Aaron with a $5 super chat says Daily does his cooking with Moonlighter 2, Escape Academy 2, and mixtape.
Oh yeah,
we're missing out. Moonlighter 2, I'm pumped for, Greg.
Somebody
I
said,
can't fucking wait for
somebody
Moonlighter
said
2.
what's the Hyper Light Breaker developer, Andy?
Heart Machine.
Heart Machine?
Somebody said new
Possessors?
yeah, somebody said new Heart Machine game.
Possessors? Probably.
Probably Possessors, yeah. I'm just gonna have it on in the background.
Dude.
Then we had Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. We had no SpongeBob, but we did get Hatsune Miku, Ichiban, Joker coming September 25th, 2025.
You get a Minecraft Dimension coming soon, too.
Cross-platform play as well. Cool. All great stuff. You know, like, I'm excited for that game.
Same.
It's such a weird one that it was announced before Mario Kart, and now we have Mario Kart, but they're different.
Are they?
Oh, yeah.
Are they?
Yeah. Have you played the other ones?
Like a little bit. They're really fun.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I have Mario Kart.
Yeah,
You
they're different. I mean, I don't have high hopes for this one.
Did
Really?
we ever get an answer
Yeah.
of who the green guy was?
Yeah.
Andy is
Jet.
dying to know.
Jet the Hawk is what the chat was saying.
Mhm.
Look how cool this is. I didn't know the Game Awards did this. I
ASL stream?
Googled like Game Awards on YouTube, and they have the Summer Game Fest ASL live stream, and then they have descriptive audio live stream, and then they have like their actual stream of the showcase. That's
Greg,
super
the
sick.
green guy. There was a night where you sent me a text.
I was waiting for you to bring this up.
yeah, that of Ben, like, or you sent me. I think it was a page of a book or something.
Yeah, so Ben's got a 5-minute Sonic Stories book that are all just terrible. They're all awful. I hate reading when he picks it. But there was a page of a bunch of different Sonic things. I took a photo. I sent it. I'm like, Uncle Bless will know. I'm like, Uncle Blessing, who is this guy? Bless like, first off, didn't answer till like 24 hours later,
Yeah.
and I was like, I have no idea.
I think one of them was Jet the Hawk.
He's a hawker, huh?
I don't know his
Max
backstory, if
too.
I'm being honest.
Code Vein 2. A lot of sequels to games that I didn't know were going to get sequels. In
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
showcase, you know?
Yeah.
Atomic
This is
Heart.
Atomic Heart. Made by Bandai. We got a golden cum shot on a painting.
That was
This is an
real.
action
That
RPG
was something,
2026. It really was something. I
Yeah.
think they went too far. And you know, I'm not one of them. Oh wow, seeing it again. Can we see it one more time, please? Barrett?
Golden cum shot also is a crazy sentence.
But is it wrong?
I'm a descriptive journalist, all right, when I make my notes here.
Fuck me, man.
Man.
They knew what they were doing.
I'm
They knew what
happy
they were
with my
doing.
brain with this one because I did not put together the cum shot thing, and that's why you guys were so appalled by it. I was just like, oh yeah, she bleeds gold Uzi.
I mean,
She bleeds gold oozing.
that's one I'll definitely try out.
Yeah.
Because I just, I heard the first one was so mid that it wasn't super worth looking into, and I got a lot of questions about it as I was streaming Kazan, and I was like, no, I haven't. I heard it was always whatever, but hopefully this is one where, after after many years of development, let's kind of upgrade our recipe here with what a Souls-like can be.
Mm-hmm.
Greg's underneath the desk right now.
A lot of cool looking stuff in this one.
Then we got End of Abyss. This is from Section 9, 2026, from Epic Game
This one looks
Studios.
cool.
This had all the finger creatures. An atmospheric action-adventure game set in a dark sci-fi world with an emphasis on exploration, supported by engaging intense combat in the depths of a mysterious underground compound.
Just in case my notes were confusing, I'm sorry. Section 9 was the dev. Epic is publishing.
Looks cool. I wrote that in my notes. Just looks cool.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that it was a laser pointer in that first shot. It looked like just a long pointer, or like a fishing rod or
Yeah.
something like that. But yeah, I love the art style. It just seems like a very kind of what if Little Nightmares and Inside were a third person like action adventure shooter.
This is one of those games that I want someone to taste make for me. Like, I want someone else to play it and let me know. Do I need to or not?
Yeah. I'm sure we will.
Yeah.
Then we got Mouse PI for Hire. No release date.
No release date, no giant new area or anything. Just Troy's
Troy's
in it.
in it.
All right, cool.
Well,
I guess. This is where you fall into. Could have been a press. This could have been press release.
yeah, I
This could have
didn't
been
like
whatever.
that.
I would have hoped you'd pair it with a release date to make it really pop, right? Of like Troy's in it.
That's
here's
all.
the
Yeah,
date, do
that's
this
what I
thing.
didn't like. Is I just feel like at this point, if it's gonna show up here, you need the date.
Yeah, it looks good. I want to play this game. Just let me play.
I got some news for Andy. Andy, Possessor's demo is out now.
Oh,
Add it to your list.
so many demos.
Game of Thrones: War for Westeros, coming 2026 on Steam. It's an RTS. Playsides Publishing, officially licensed by Warner Brothers Interactive. Cool. Looks
Go
like
get
we're
'em.
getting some what if situations. Jon Snow getting got by the Night King. No
What-
gameplay.
Yeah, I was about to ask, what did the gameplay look like, Tim?
I mean, we can all assume. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really need to see it. We know.
You're clicking on shit.
Real talk, like I do think this is and maybe I'm wrong, but from my memory, I think this might easily be the worst opening to a Summer Game Fest we've ever had.
Yeah, it's one of those where it's hard to be like, I remember them with an encyclopedic knowledge, but I was watching this feeling that of like, wow, we aren't opening well, which usually isn't a good sign for how this is going to go.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think we ever righted the ship and we're like, all right, now we're into the hype, and now the hype's happening.
Then we got Atomic Heart 2 from Munfish, action adventure RPG coming to PC and consoles. No date or anything. It's an active development. Just a week after the announcement that Atomic Heart has surpassed 10 million players worldwide, Munfish has revealed today at Summer Game Fest that Atomic Heart 2, the sequel to the retro-futuristic action-adventure first-person shooters in active development for PC and consoles.
That was a Game Pass game, yeah.
Yeah. And then they went on to also announce The Cube.
The Cube.
An MMORPG shooter, a giant levitating cube with rotating rows and edges. Hidden within is an unknown equation capable of altering the laws of reality.
Hell yeah.
Coming to PC and consoles. The third note Greg wrote down was just all caps ass.
They had some ass.
Not
Yeah,
that the game
there.
looked like ass, but that there were asses in
There's
it.
a
It was
A
a
lot
lot
trend
of
of the
ass
show.
happening in this, guys.
For
So-
sure.
They
fuck
went
with
back
this.
to back with the ass. They went ass to ass with it.
So initially, while watching this, you see Atomic Heart 2, and you go, oh, okay, this is the follow-up to the single-player Atomic Heart. This is going to be a single-player experience. And they show something else, and you go, oh, this is going to be their multiplayer thing to hopefully, generate some revenue for whatever the hell. But then they said MMORPG first-person shooter. I'm like, oh, shit, it's like a shared world. Like
Like a Destiny
is it like a Destiny or Division type deal?
on a
What's-
Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, the cube.
Yeah.
The cube is an MMORPG shooter, a giant levitating cube with
Crazy.
rotating rows and
That
edges.
is a crazy idea.
Hidden within is an unknown equation capable of altering the laws of
And
reality.
they said it's in the Atomic universe, so the same universe as Atomic Heart.
yeah.
Which again leads me to questions of what the fuck is up with Atomic Heart. Like, was that game that
It hit
successful?
so hard with an audience that they're like, we're doing everything.
10 million
around
players
this.
worldwide.
Good for them. I
The
wouldn't
cube-
have known.
The cube
Yeah.
blends tactical combat, deep RPG progression, and chaotic exploration, all powered by Mundfish's proprietary split rendering tech that redefines real-time motion in multiplayer worlds.
This is like a put up or shut up for Andy because it's like, well, you've been asking for another division type
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
for a while. I know that
And this one's
Destiny
got
exists. but sorry.
ass.
Gotta ask for days. Look at Moonlighter too. Look how good it looks.
I can't fucking win.
Look at that, man.
Then next up, we had Marvel Cosmic Invasion. 2 new characters announced: Rocket Raccoon and
Yes.
She-Hulk. Both look great. This
One
game
of-
looks awesome.
One of the highlights of this presentation for me, where again, I'm not the beat 'em up guy, but like I love this IP and world enough that I'm gonna get in there with Cap and She-Hulk and whoever and fuck around. Again, you won't give me another Ultimate Alliance. This will have to do.
And for me, I've said this so much, especially last year when the Marvel vs. Capcom collection came out, but there's just something so perfect about the, not just look, but the soundtracks and sound effects and voice lines and stuff of the 90s Marvel fighting games. And I love that they're taking that and applying it to this format. We've had Marvel beat 'em ups before, but we haven't had ones with that style. This
Yeah,
is
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like a dream situation
there,
from a
looking
team that
good.
we know can get the job done. So very excited. Next up, we had Onimusha Way of the Sword from Capcom coming in 2026. A little bit more gameplay here, a couple of different weapons. There was one really cool attack you did that like split the screen.
Yeah.
Like
It
with
looked
some
like
depth.
Doctor Strange Mirror World type shit.
Yeah.
Mirror universe.
Cool stuff, but like I was saying a little earlier, like the big selling point for me here is the goofy villain enemies and like the kind of back and forth between the characters there is exactly what I want from an Onimusha game. So very excited for this. Excited that they're saying it's going to be playable soon at Gamescom.
Gamescom, yeah. I think
Oh,
that's
here
So-
it is. Here's the mirror attack. Barrett got it. Barrett got it.
Barrett's got it because he's Barrett.
Ooh,
Barrett
sick.
likes
That's
to do the
lit.
thing.
Are we
Yeah.
sending you to Germany?
Might need to go. I don't know. Never been. Next
Oh,
up, we
it's a
have
fun time.
Felt That Boxing from Songstring Studios.
Hell yeah.
Stand out here.
You can wishlist now on Steam, and I definitely will. Flying Lotus did the music. Greg writes whoever that is.
Jesus
You all
Christ.
you all flipped out. I do not know who Flying Lotus is, but I'm glad the children enjoy them.
Fantastic
You call him
producer.
Fly Low, and people will be like, "Oh, he knows."
Oh,
Yeah.
Fly Low?
Fly
Fucking
Low.
dope.
He had a radio
not El
station.
Fly Low, just Fly Low.
Oh, Fly Low.
He had a station
This-
in GTA 5.
This got me every which way.
Yeah.
Like, starting
Funny.
it off, it sounds all right. They set it up, like, oh, it's going to be a funny thing, but it's also going to be this, whatever. And, like, it looks stunning. it is, I think, actually funny.
Yeah.
And the gameplay style, I'm like, yeah, this reminds me of a lot of the dumb shit and like old schools, not just dumb, but old school stuff that I love so much. So yeah, definitely excited for this one. I just played, I forget the name of it. It's like not Thunder Ross and not Thunderbolt.
I know what
It
you're
was a
talking about,
punch out
too.
like
Yes.
that was hella stylized, and I played it on Steam Deck and I really, really loved it. Thunder Joe.
Thunder Joe.
How do we get
Thunder
Elise
Ray.
Willems involved?
Thunder Ray.
There you go.
Elise Willems needs to be
She,
a part
I
of
mean,
this
her
project.
Spidey sense must have gone nuts for this one.
Yeah. Love it.
It
But-
looks so real.
Yeah.
Like, it's freaking me out, man.
and it's just weird that it's all gameplay. Like there's like the weird HUD elements every once in a while pop up. It's like, oh, you're doing
Yeah.
something.
Yeah,
here. Like
yeah,
that's really
Looking
weird.
forward to it, man. Can't wait to see more of that. That was very, very impressive. Very, very funny.
Great name. Then we got Killer In Deception, We Trust. It's a murder mystery action game from Square Enix. Kill someone, a clue remains. Wolves win by killing every lamb. Loot, steal, escape, and kill, etc. This is coming. It's a closed beta coming soon.
Yeah, and one that started up, I was like, okay, whatever. And then the idea of you leave a clue when you kill somebody, I was like, oh, that's neat. That's a neat little wrinkle to it of trying to figure this out.
Yeah, I fuck with this heavy.
24 players, it said.
24 players is a lot. Like I for social deduction games, I prefer like a more intimate experience. You know what I mean? So like, I want to see how they balance that. Like I think with the clue system, I could see it being a thing of all right, it's 12v12. Like it really is more about the chase to take people out and collect the clues to win for your team. But I feel like that gets a little bit away from like the all right, know the strategies of the players that you're playing with kind of thing. But I like it. It's unique. It's interesting. I'd like to play more.
Andy,
Or any.
I got glare on that
Or any.
blue name. What's that blue name in the chat?
Athram.
Athram?
Athram says OST by Yoko Shimomura for sure. Sounded like her. It definitely did sound like her.
Yeah.
And it being Square, like potentially, I would be surprised for this level of game, but that would be pretty cool and would definitely add some prestige to it. But I kind of get in a very different way Foam Stars vibes from this of just like, there's no way this is going to work. Even if it's a cool idea, even if it's a good game, like seems a little.
You should expand to 24 players when you got confidence.
Yeah.
start off with 8-player lobbies.
Who developed the Death Note game, the social deduction one we did the stream?
I don't know.
Oh, Jesus.
Because this kind of gives me
That was a cool one,
hints
though.
of that. Yeah,
I don't remember.
chat, let me know.
That was a Bandai Namco one,
Oh, was
it
it?
was, yeah.
wasn't it?
Never mind. I was hoping it was Square Enix.
Oh, sorry.
I have heartburn.
Go back.
Hold on.
Control Shift T. Control Shift T.
I'm going to grab an antacid real quick.
Can you give
Oh
some
yeah,
water,
Panda.
so-
Yeah.
Oh, that's not the. I thought it was this.
No,
I thought it was,
no,
okay,
no.
forget it. My bad. Arc Raiders, October 30th. A bit of a let.
Yeah, I know.
And he walks away.
Come back.
didn't time that one out well.
Come back. Yeah, I mean, everything just seemed like it was pointing in the right direction. It wasn't even like there are these really, really loose rumors. It just felt like kind of it was going to happen, especially with how awesome the last beta felt. And yeah, October 30th, we'll see if they'll release a date soon for another closed network test.
It did seem like kind of they were hyping it up a bit in a way that I don't understand, but please explain this to me. Keeley didn't promote too much stuff or hype too much stuff up, but he did post a picture of a rooster on the stage today.
Yeah.
Does a rooster have something to do with Arc Raiders?
Yeah, there's a...
So, I mean, it was here and they got a release date, but
Okay. Yeah, the rooster's a little friend you have back at your base who you send him out on missions to go get random weapons parts or things like that, and he comes back and gives you things. But I didn't even see that tweet, so that's
like he was on the Summer Game Fest stage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Posted rooster.
Thanks, Andy.
You gotta play this one with us, Bless. This is
Since they revealed it, I've been wanting to play it.
It's a really cool experience. Like when everything goes great, then the tensions are high, and me and Mike and our homie Maddock are in one room talking to another team, and they're like, "You just let us go. We'll be totally chill. We're gonna be totally chill. Fucking kill him, Andy. Kill him right there." Like it's a lot of fun whenever things work out, or it could be your biggest nightmare when you have 4 runs in a row and you just lose shit. But yeah, this kind of. The beta test happened at the perfect time after Marathon was not impressing a whole lot of people, and this released kind of right after, and it had voice proximity chat. And I start off a game and I'm running, and then I hear somebody running behind me, and I turn around and I shoot. He's like, "Oh, stop! I just got here. I don't have anything." And I was like, all right, just turn around and run away. Like it has those moments that you are super memorable because it feels like you're interacting in a different experience with somebody, and Marathon lacked that. And that's, yeah, I'm going to get water for you.
Thanks, brother.
And
Water it up.
some Tums.
Get your tummies.
Then we had Dune Awakening come June 10th, just a couple days away. We're planning to stream it next week.
That's right. Yeah, a lot of excitement around this one. I think, Bless talked about it. It's that game that everybody sees and like, this shouldn't work, but everybody says it works. And even me, I'm not a Dune guy, but I like a MMO. I have in the past. I'd like to try it out. I like to see if it works. When we've seen the demos before, they're doing enough interesting stuff that's like, okay, let's see if it comes together.
Yeah, I'm kind of the reverse of Greg, where I'm not a survival MMO guy, but I do love the Dune movies, and so like I'm looking for any excuse just to live in this universe, and this is the most you can live in a universe,
for
right?
sure.
And so if people are in, if there's buy-in from Greg and Andy and Mike and whoever, like I'm gonna be in there.
We got Chrono Odyssey playtest coming June 20th, and then Wuthering Waves. Do either of you have anything to say about those?
No. This is definitely when you're getting into that thing of like, yes, these are titles I remember writing down.
They are titles, everybody. And you know what? These are advertisements.
Oh, Andy was so close. He could have just.
This episode's brought to you by Xreal. Y'all know that a few months ago, my life changed forever when I brought a pair of Xreal 1 AR glasses on a long flight to New York. I legit could not believe how easy it is to use and high quality my experience was playing games, watching movies, TV shows on the plane without just too much extra stuff around me, or especially not a giant goofy headset around my head. No joke, this is my favorite new tech product in years, and it has earned a permanent spot in my travel bag. It is only hard to believe that it works as well as I'm saying until you try Xreal 1 AR glasses for yourself. And then you will see that the future is now. The tech is here. Connect Xreal 1 glasses to wherever you are playing, whether it's a handheld console, a PC, phone, home console. You just get a massive 150-inch virtual screen anywhere, anytime, for any game. Gaming on the go like a long-haul flight, you need the Xreal 1. Neck starting to hurt from staring down at your handheld? We've all been there. You need an Xreal 1. A screen as big as your wall. Instant plug and play with all of your devices via USB-C. Built-in audio with sound by Bose, anchoring your screen anywhere in space. It's awesome. It just works. Zero latency at 1080p full HD. These are what make Xreal 1 a must-have. And we hear Xreal 1 Pro is coming soon with an even bigger virtual screen. Hit our link below to get your Xreal glasses today. There's nothing better than when a sponsor of Kinda Funny is something that we are legitimately obsessed with, and that is exactly the case here with Xreal. You're gonna hear me talking about these forever. Go to xreal.com for more.
So, Bless, what I found interesting about it was beforehand I was talking about, like, there's so much going on. There's so many things to be excited about. My expectations are so low for SGF that hopefully it'll wildly exceed them, right?
Yeah.
And it went the opposite, where my expectations were so low and they probably met those low expectations, but everything else around it is so exciting that I was like, God, I wish I was playing Zelda on Switch 2 right now. You know what I mean? I wish you were playing this.
I wish I was at home playing Liza P. Overture right
man,
now.
I mean, this, that, and the other. I'm like, I'm excited to play games tomorrow. And Xbox. Xbox is right around the corner.
What if we
right?
took a company 2 days off? You know what I mean? Just for catching up on games. But we just ran ads, so we still got paid.
Well, here's
we just upload the ads to our subscription.
There is
feed
an argument to be made.
There
is an argument to be made. Mike has had an obscene amount of days off recently.
That's actually a really
so.
good
If we
point.
just made Mike do all the shows for 2 days by himself,
Which we know he could do.
Yeah, totally can do that.
I'm really sad, you guys.
Yeah?
Walmart didn't send me Pringles.
No.
Just the Switch.
That's messed
the
up.
Fuck, man.
Well,
And it was
Walmart,
late.
we got
It was
Target.
fucking late.
Where's my Mario Kart?
God. At least Joey has a Switch now, so that's good. Mio, Memories in Orbit. Metroidvania, Steam demo out right now, which is very exciting. I am very excited for this one. It popped up for the first time at a Nintendo Direct, and it looks very, very cool, very up my alley, and it looks a lot better
Looks
now.
better here.
Because
Looks
it's
better
not
now
the
than
Switch
Nintendo.
version, which, I'm very excited about. That was cool to see. I'm happy it was here. This is the type of game I want to be reminded of.
Yeah.
You know?
Which is fascinating, but it didn't even have a Switch logo on the
It didn't, which
That
I
was
thought was
weird.
weird. But I think like,
And then
Barrett,
I- and
could
then
you
I-
bring that part up because I do want to. There was a lot of text. I couldn't get caught up on it quickly.
And then I convinced myself maybe it wasn't at a Nintendo event. Maybe it was at an Xbox showcase or something. But no, I remember it
Maybe
being,
we've never seen this
Is
before.
there,
Well, just because it was at a Nintendo event doesn't mean. Oh, you're talking about the end of the.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like they're like not even having
Do
a
you think
logo.
Jeff-
There it is, Nintendo Switch.
Oh, it's on.
Oh,
play
I
the
was
it's
looking-
demo
demo
the
now.
demo.
Demo.
Okay.
The
Man, I'm so sorry, podcast listeners. This must not be a pleasant experience.
Yo, this is your 10th SGF E3 with us. You know what the energy is at this.
Wait, did the demo screen, did that say PC and Xbox PC?
Yeah, because it's
Steam
Steam and
and
Windows.
Xbox PC.
Why don't they have the demo just on Xbox? Like regular Xbox, like my console.
Oh, that one
Or am I
They
reading
probably,
it?
they
Never
probably
worked.
don't have a build ready for consoles for demo.
Yeah, okay, you know what? That makes a lot of sense.
But once Xbox OS gets announced, hopefully,
Hopefully
fingers
it's all the
crossed.
same, yeah.
Thing of the past. That
$5
looks great.
super chat from Joe. Appreciates us.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Joe.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
He was dancing in the aisles of the bus.
Out of Worlds.
No, that's not right.
Out of Worlds.
Out of words.
Outer Worlds? That's not right. Outer Worlds?
Said the same thing. What is wrong with you, man?
He's struggling.
The words I'm thinking aren't mine. You're off, man.
Take a break, I'll host.
Out of words. Out of words.
Help me.
Help me with 2 eyes, everybody.
Out of words. I think probably saying this, when it popped up, I was like, oh, this is probably my game of the show. And I don't think off the top of my head anything we're going to talk about beyond here caught me as, oh, fuck yeah. Like watching this was probably the happiest moment of SGF 2025 for me. What a beautiful little game here. Epic publishing it, of course. Handcrafted, as you can see. They made a big point of doing it. This co-op journey for 2026. Tim called it a happy inside, which I appreciated and thought really nailed it too. Is like you're playing with it, jumping, upside down, running all this stuff. The way it looks, the feltiness of it, the wood of the characters and stuff, the clay looks gorgeous.
And I think we're finally getting to that time just because of how long it takes to develop games. But we've said it on several Gamescasts and several Games Dailies where we go, when are people going to go after what Haze Light is doing,
yeah.
And it's like we're starting to see those seeds, pop out of the ground, Tim, and they got little buds on them.
Yeah, I love it, man. This another highlight for me. Like this, it's these type of games that I'm like, this isn't a bad showcase. It's just a mediocre showcase because it had some real gold announcements, right? Like things that we would not have known about, and I'm now excited for that. And I want to play through that with you, Greg. I feel like that would be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
Then we had Mafia: The Old Country trailer. Game's coming August 8th.
Oh, yeah.
This is just more of like a fun reminder one, right? Like
Yeah.
nothing new here.
I wanted to bring this up real quick. Corey Clark says that font looks like an Alexa ad. The whole time I was watching it, the font to me looked like Samsung Galaxy ad or on the Out of Words font.
See, for me, when they popped it up, it looked like the EA Originals font they used.
I
So
thought
I was
that
very
too.
much like, oh, is this? Oh, but it's epic, but it starts with an E and stuff. Yeah. Mafia: The Old Country. Yeah, just I think, hey, big stage. Remember, this is coming out in August, and it looks really great. It looks like a game that I want to play if you're one of the blockbuster game fans like me.
What's the Metacritic prediction on this one?
I'll go 81.
Damn,
Yeah.
that's what I was gonna say too,
Terrell
brother.
Owens, dude.
Yeah, I
T.O.
was going to say 80.
Barrett?
I'm gonna say an 83.
Okay.
We're all in the same.
Okay.
Be a very
The
good
same
game.
bracket. Yeah, just a
I
couple
think
points off.
there's a huge Mafia fan base if you didn't know, both for the organized crime organization and the games. And I think this is really a response that's going to resonate with them of like, hey, we know what Mafia is. There's these pillars of it being great, having a story. We're giving you a linear story or Mafia. Yes, you can explore areas or whatever, but it's not what the bloat was of Mafia 3 with the driving across Louisiana that pushed so many people away. It's more doubling down on what Mafia Definitive Edition was.
Very cool.
Yeah, the remake that this team did for the first game had a 78 on OpenCritic, which, yeah,
I'm going to give an extra prediction. I think this will be in Greg's top 5 games of the year.
I think it won't be that, but it will be in my top 10.
Will it be in my top 10?
No, it will be in my top 10.
Yeah, no, but he said top 5. I'm asking you, do you think he'll put? I'll get it to my top 10.
No.
I think the fact that it's like a straightforward like narrative action adventure game, that just sounds like something. That sounds like
I
we're
miss Uncharted.
Yeah, I know how much Greg likes
Did you
Uncharted.
play Mafia 1?
Yeah, I did. And I reviewed 2.
Okay.
I just know we're not getting many of those this year. At least it doesn't feel like
I didn't
we're
play the
getting many
definitive
of those
edition, to be clear.
Gotcha. Okay. That's what I meant. Sorry.
Then we got Lego Voyagers.
The deepest sigh from Andy. Is it the heartburn?
Just laughing so hard, man. Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds.
Oh, man.
I'm telling you right now, like, look, something about the way it's bold and yellow.
Sure,
I'm seeing an L in there. Okay. Do you see
No,
the L?
I don't see the L, but you know, oh no, I'm not judging you.
We've all had these moments.
Lego Voyagers. It's a friend's past like Split Fiction from Annapurna, 2-player co-op game. Follow-up to Builder's Journey. With years of experience under their belt, Lightbrick Studio continues to deliver innovative gameplay that expertly captures the unique feeling of snapping together Lego bricks. Lego Voyagers features a vibrant world and a beautiful nonverbal narrative about friendship and letting your imagination run wild when looking up at the sky. Hell yeah. Love to see this here.
Dude, for real, Lego Builder's Journey, I think, is such a must-play for anybody. It's 3 hours long or something.
And this was Apple Arcade. It might still be
It
Apple
started
Arcade.
off. It started off Apple Arcade, and then I remember it coming to PC and other platforms later. And I played it on PC, and it was like full max ray tracing and looked unbelievable. But it's a game with no dialogue, and you're just a little brick, and you have a pop-up brick, and it will make you cry at the end of this like just beautiful little journey. Got some puzzling in there. And this looks like more of the same, but 2-player sounds freaking great.
Yeah. It sells itself. This is awesome. Look forward to it.
What?
Johnny Boss Super Chat. Big fan of the Mafia. They saved my life.
Then we had Nicktoons and the Dice of Destiny. Carolyn Lawrence came out on stage, said a whole bunch of things real fast. I don't think many people caught on to it all.
No.
Then it's all right, cool. Fall 2025. Looks like a little Nickelodeon Diablo.
Can't fucking wait. When they're doing this and we're watching, it's like, all right, where's the kicker? Is it just Tiny Tina? Is it we're rolling dice? Is it? There's a lot of like, is it going to be like a South Park Stick of Truth? You know, whatever. And then like, no, it's just SpongeBob running around hacking and slashing. I'm like, I don't give a. There will be Nicktoons, I'm sure, in here that I give a shit about. They better have Rocco. All right.
Oof.
Yeah,
You don't think so?
that's
No
big.
Rocco's my
That's a big ass.
Is that too
Yeah.
old?
Yeah.
Rugrats? Am I getting a Rugrat?
He got canceled
They brought back
recently.
We'll get a
Rocco
Rugrat.
like 5
They got
years ago.
SpongeBob, man.
When did they bring back Rocco?
They brought back Rocco's Modern Life?
Yeah.
Yeah, they brought back Rocco's Modern Life.
They
Paramount
want to get
Plus
olds
launched.
like me in there. They're
Really?
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a movie. Like a
I
one-off
love the
special.
idea of this one being whatchamacallit, co-op local play. Ben getting involved with this one. Ben
Netflix.
plays Justice League Cosmic Chaos with me a
Oh,
lot.
yeah.
Yeah. So he enjoys that. I mean, you turn the easy on, he doesn't get hurt.
See, I was gonna ask if you wanted to do this for like a stream when it comes
Oh,
out,
100%.
me and you. But like, it sounds like you want to play with your son Ben. And so
Yeah, but
I'll
I
let
mean,
you
Ben's
do
gonna do
that.
the same thing he always does, where he walks around and finds a car to drive, and then I just do that.
I understand. You want to play with Ben more than you want to play with me. It's okay.
No.
It's the
Okay.
the meta that Ben prefers. Like, is never good. Like, you know, you
Dude.
want to win.
Hey, cool. You're Batman, Ben. You can glide around. You throw a battery. Cool. Where's a car? He goes, finds a truck. Superman gets in the passenger seat. He just drives around in this truck. Fight something, Ben. Use a power.
I think I slipped into another universe. This never happened.
You don't remember this?
Dude,
Yeah.
Bear,
This is a
you
big
should-
deal.
You should watch it. It's cool.
And this came out 2019 on Netflix, the same year that Invader Zim did their
Yeah.
little.
You were all zimmed out.
Yeah.
Because if I remember correctly, I forget if there was time travel involved or
Yeah.
if he
It's
just
a very cynical look at like what if he was in modern times,
Yes.
the modern life of Rocco. I think you'd like it, Barrett.
It's on Netflix.
We got a Liza P. Overture available today.
wild.
Andy, your night has just changed.
Andy called it, but then it still caught him off guard.
Well, I started to doubt more and more because I was like, well, we never got a review code unless they're just waiting for the game to come out, you know?
Mhm.
And then, you know, I was still excited for it, but then I was like, no. At the end of it, I ended up, did I predict August something? Late August?
Yeah.
I think I predicted
Yes.
late August. Took a little,
You said August 20th something.
yeah.
I should have predicted out today because I was feeling in my
I'm
bones
pretty
a
sure I
little
said
bit.
Shadow Drop in the Gamescast predictions, but today I changed my mind. But those still count. Those are the ones that are.
Those are the ones that count. You
Yeah.
said on
Those are the
Gamescast that
ones that
matters.
count.
No one remembers pre-show stuff.
Yeah.
No one will remember Outer Worlds, Outer Worlds.
This is the
No
first
one.
boss that we fought in the when me and Bless went to the preview event.
Yeah, whooped my
She
ass
rocked.
like for 30 minutes straight. It was great.
Yeah.
Fractured Blooms.
Beat this boss.
I beat this one too.
Oh.
Inspired by a true story.
Yeah,
I
the
didn't get to this one.
Doki Doki Cross Silent Hill. This game
Okay.
looked legitimately like spooky and weird in a way that I don't think I've ever seen in a game. I don't like it. I'm not necessarily stoked about playing this at all.
I like horror games, and I looked at this and I was like, okay, no, it's not what I want to do. It doesn't look. I'm not looking at that going, I gotta play that.
Yeah, I give him credit for obviously Doki Doki Literature Club, like some fucked up weird
Yeah.
shit that we haven't seen.
It's
Looking at this, I'm like, we've never seen that before.
one of the first paragraphs of the description, right from the press release, go restore your neglected house to its former glory by growing crops, cooking delicious meals, learning new recipes, and taking care of its inhabitants in this psychological life sim. So it sounds like we're trying to do like a dark Animal Crossing life sim. You know what I mean? Like where you're cooking and crafting. I don't know.
Yeah. I this did not hit for me at all. I was actually kind of surprised because I'm somebody who really dug Doki Doki Literature Club, but that game does such a great job of kind of hiding what it's about
Yeah,
outside of
for
having
sure.
like trigger warnings and stuff in the beginning, right? But like once you get into it, it very much plays it straight for just long enough before things go down in Doki Doki. This, I mean, leading off with the trailer that already from the get-go looks freaky, is doing a lot of things that are really dark and fucked up. I don't know, like I want to see how they balance it in the final thing because it very much feels like they're leaning into the hype of Doki Doki, but I want to see if they get the same execution right of what Doki Doki did.
And then Jesus fucking Christ, we got into some stuff here. We just had a back-to-back
Commercials. This is just the commercial section.
Blade and Soul Neo, Blade and Soul Heroes, Crystal of Atlan, Cross One Punch Man.
This is when they
Seven
stopped like
Deadly
even
Sins
putting
Origins.
black screens between them. It was
Yeah.
just
It
blending
was just
together.
stuff.
We're like,
Yeah.
which game is this? Then?
State of Unreal.
Cool
isn't
seeing
it?
One Punch Man, kind of. You know what I mean?
I
He
wish it was
there.
cooler.
That was the guy everybody go, what the fuck's happening? What game
Yeah.
are we talking about?
Well, they didn't do. I don't think they ever made a good clean transition into. Oh, these are commercials.
Yeah.
Like the next commercial break, Jeff was like, "All right, and we'll be right back," right, and then made that transition. Here, I think we're still in Summer Game Fest Prime mode, and yeah, that just wasn't great.
But on top of like not having a clear transition to commercials, there was no transition between games.
Yeah,
Like it just looked.
it
like
just all looked like one thing. If
these
you
all
didn't know
look
what
so
these were.
similar. Like I don't know what's happening here. Jurassic World Evolution, Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum.
October 21st. For the first time, players can nurture juvenile dinosaurs as part of flourishing family units.
That's all for you, man. Nurture a juvenile dinosaur.
I mean, these games in theory are really like they seem neat, but when I see a dino, I think it's going to be that first-person survival game. You know,
Turok.
where's
Yeah.
that one at? Yeah, Turok.
And then Yacht Club Games. Celia came out, announced Mina the Hollower's coming October 31st on Halloween. That's cool. Demo out now. The limited time demo gives players their first chance to hollow into Mina's bizarre world full of monsters and mystery. The demo's out now and will participate in Steam Next Fest from June 9th to 16th. It features the game's opening stage and concludes with the first major boss fight. Progress made in the demo will carry over to the full game. The demo will be removed after Steam Next Fest, so don't miss your chance to dive in.
Prediction:
Yes.
this will be Andy's number 2 at the end of the
Whoa, that's crazy.
year. You love the Oracle games, no?
I'd love them, but that like, oh,
I mean, here's the thing. That little mouse, it's adorable. You know, if this game is just good enough, it's going to get some bonus points for that mouse.
oh, of course, yeah.
that
And
looks
the,
awesome.
the soundtrack's
Very-
gonna rock.
Yeah,
as well.
I'm so stoked on that. Then we had Deadpool VR. Neil Patrick Harris is Deadpool. It's coming to the Meta Quest. Cal Penn is the voice of the man on the Dispatch.
Yeah, he's a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. It's his first day.
Late 2025. Marvel's Deadpool VR features an all-new original story, lots of enemies to kill, and action-packed. If you can imagine it, you could probably do it combat style. Greg, you played it.
I did. They came through the office a couple weeks ago and let me play the demo that I think they might have at SGF. I forget, but I got to play it. That's all that matters. It's fun. It's what you'd expect, right? It is. You pull out your swords like that, and it is you just and you kick back the bullets. You can switch to your guns. You can throw your swords. There's other weapons to pick up. You get this anti-grav gun that you'll use to rappel around the room or whatever. Obviously, right there, killing that guy is how the game starts. Deadpool's body's over on the table. Your head is on there. You have to then control your body from across the way to kill that guy and blah, blah, blah. It's got the humor. It's got the thing. It's got the blood. It's got the guts. Like, you're cutting people in half. You're cutting them like in like long ways, sideways, depending on how you're doing your sword. It's not dynamic, but it's like it's not dynamic in terms of when you cut somebody any different way, it's cutting exactly that way. But it is the idea that if you go sideways, you're gonna get that animation of sideways, and at the waist or whatever.
Were you doing crazy plays like all this midair type shit?
Yeah, they encourage you to really fuck around with it. They're like, you can just walk around and shoot if you want. You can just throw your sword, but you jump up. There's different ways to jump and then slam down and do this. Like, they were encouraging me to do that and jump off the walls and shit. And so I was getting in the flow of it as I played through the lengthy demo. They're really far along with this one. Neil Patrick Harris, Deadpool in it, which I love the idea of, but something about playing it didn't work for me in that very limited, maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it was that I played, where it's like, I don't feel like he's going full Neil Patrick Harris. I feel like it feels like that. I saw somebody in the chat called it like, oh, it sounds like he's sleepy, like Neil Patrick Harris. And that's the entire way. You know what I mean? Like, I want higher highs and lower lows than what I was getting out there. And it does kind of sound, and I know this is reductive and I don't mean it, it does kind of sound like he's doing a Ryan Reynolds impression rather than what Neil Patrick Harris would do or Barney from How I Met Your Mother would do. But again, early on, we'll see how it is. I did like the interplay between him and Cal Penn on the radio. I did like some of the lines of it. It's just the performance wasn't all about it.
Does the game have, like, meta gaming humor? Because the trailer, I appreciated the like Insomniac jokes and some of that stuff.
Yes, I don't remember any of them off my head. There wasn't like they were making an Insomniac reference in game, but they did reference like you're getting very gamey mechanics or a tutorial or something like that. That's they're making that reference. Deadpool comics to run around and collect, so there's the fun bit to it. So if you're a VR person or a Deadpool person looking for that, I think there's something here to keep your eye on. Will it all pan out? Will it work? Blah blah.
Barrett, you're about to say something?
Yeah, just it felt like he was given the direction of try to go for Ryan Reynolds in terms of his performance here, and it just kind of lands flat. And who is this team? Do we know?
We do. Did I not jot that down? Is it not over there? I didn't. 2 seconds. Let me give it to you. Yeah. They're I think they're a newer studio. I forget if they've done a lot of stuff. It is from Twisted Pixel Studio. Twisted Pixel, who I think got acquired by Oculus. Studios, Twisted game development. They did The Maw, which I remember people talking about. Path of the Warrior, Defector, The B Team, Wilson's Heart, Loco Cycle. I remember, Jesus Christ.
Loco Cycle.
That was an Xbox
launch game for
Xbox
One.
Gunstringer.
Okay.
Explosion Man.
Yeah, okay.
That's the one I know.
The Maw, maybe I'm wrong about them getting acquired. I forget now.
So this isn't the Batman Arkham team.
No. It's not camouflage. No.
Okay.
And no, they are at Meta apparently.
I mean, as somebody who doesn't fuck with VR, and still won't, and no matter how hard I try, maybe I'll just take one of them. What are the medicines you take? Those little pills you take?
Weed.
Yeah,
Molly?
those. Yeah. But when I look at the gameplay, it's like I love an anti-grav gun.
Sure.
I love manipulating with gravity and then shooting. It's like if it was just a keyboard mouse game, I would probably fuck with this, but I just can't do VR.
Dying Light the Beast coming August 22nd. Bless, Greg, you
More
popping
Dying Light.
back into the world?
No, I'm good.
It depends on what time it comes out. Or it depends what comes out around it, right? Like, am I going to be busy? I probably will be busy. Like, knowing what gaming is nowadays and what it is this year. But, like, honestly, I would love to give it a go. Dying Light 2 was a surprise for us when it came out.
Surprise and delight.
Yeah, it surprised and delighted us because it came out in a January that didn't have much else going on.
It hit at a really good time when you could play through that whole game and be like, all right, cool, yeah. But it's like, Dying Light is just, it's too far into the weird Resident Evil meta narrative. You know what I mean? Like, I like a zombie game that's more like, we're trying to survive the thing, not there's all these horrible things who have been tested on. So it's like, I'm not hungry for this at all. I'm not looking for
I think hungry is a good word to use because I'm not hungry for it either. But if I have the space and time, I would definitely pick it up and give it a try.
And then we had Mixtape coming this year.
Let's
Got
go.
it coming soon.
Looks amazing.
Soundtrack announced. Looks fucking awesome. I'm so hyped on this, and I'm really, really, really hopeful. Artful Escape was my favorite game a couple years back, and so this looks even better to me. But I really, really like their vibes and like their references and just like they're kind of just like tone that they got going, and this just speaks to me even more. So
Yeah.
hope it lives up to expectations.
This is giving me some of the vibes that I wanted out of Lost Records, Bloom and Rage.
Yep, 100%.
Combined with the talent
1000%.
of being the studio that did Artful Escape, which is like, it wasn't a game that spoke to me as much, right? Just because of taste or whatever. But as I look at this, it's the same thing that Tim's saying of, oh man, I want this. Like, this is speaking to me so much. I can't wait to jump into it.
As you mentioned, Pop Agenda doing PR with this one through Annapurna or whatever. So I'm gonna just give you this embargoed image I just got. Like that's how they set up the stuff at Playdays or whatever
Oh
to
my
do
gosh.
it. So that's no,
Awesome.
don't comment on it. But that's
Oh,
like, yeah,
wow.
like you're crushing what the vision of it all is.
Crazy they got Reggie Fils-Aimé in there.
Please let me go.
And then we had, is this right, Greg?
Toa?
I'm not locked up. in
Toa
this.
and the Guardians of the Sacred Tree.
Yep, I'm glad it made an impression on you.
No, I think
You don't remember Toa?
I don't.
The world hangs in the balance as the evil Magatusa threatens the land on Princess Tower and her 8 companions along the way.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, we're fine.
Yeah.
It's the one that kind of had a Hades vibe, but everybody, the more you all watch, the more you're like, yeah, we're good. No, don't need to do
Yeah,
this one.
It didn't have the art style of Drinkbox, the Drinkbox one.
Yeah.
Oh, it's because they showed 4 choices
Yep.
in the perk screen.
That's all it
You
took.
gotta stick to 3 if you're a roguelite.
Then we got Acts of Blood.
Come
dude.
on.
This looks so good. Summer 2026. A bummer it's that far, but it makes a lot of sense. Solo dev making a game that looks incredibly cool. This is the Sifu one where you're literally beating the living fuck out of people. It looks awesome.
I love that Sifu's had an impact. You know what I mean? It's the kind
Hell
of
yeah.
game that should have an impact.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the kind of game that developers should look at and be like, yo, this is cool as fuck. We should make cool as fuck games. And so this one is another one that looks cool. Jeff mentioned that it's from a new dev in Indonesia, I believe he said. And I think that's fucking awesome. And like, good for them for making something that looks this dope.
I think this is the one where Jeff said a solo dev made this with 9 of his friends. It was just like a very weird, like, wait.
Well, they
What does
ordered
that mean?
pizza and stuff.
They give him a massage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it looked fantastic. That one sequence of the dude rooftop running and jumping through the window. It's just they're nailing exactly what they're going for.
God, people are so funny about this dev stuff.
Like, I imagine what?
Deal with it.
One time full time, or one guy full time, and then the rest maybe just doing part time shit.
Yeah,
Doing
it's just like
soundtrack, doing
a
other
funny way to word it.
There's a lot of that happening in the industry. I keep seeing. There was somebody who I don't even remember the name of, which makes it easier, but it wasn't on content. It was some developer who was like very upset about the expedition thing. Like, yeah, a team of 50 people who also work with the Korean, like, workforce of this, that, and the other. Like, I don't know. I don't even know what you're talking about, but okay.
I mean, we start every episode that we do. We're a small 11-person team, and it's like, well, plus Cameron Kennedy and Carter Harrell and Campfire Design.
I say contractors around the world when that comes.
I know. I'm just saying. It's
I
just
know
like,
what you
it's just, it is.
How do you want to slice the onion?
Scott Pilgrim
dice it.
EX, dude. Fuck yeah. Tribute Games announcing their next game. What a big surprise. Cosmic Invasion not even out yet, and they're already on the next one, and it's a sequel to the Scott Pilgrim storyline. Fuck yeah. Brian Lee O'Malley?
Yep.
Hell yeah, man.
Gooch.
Adam Mataguchi here doing the soundtrack. I mean, I got introduced to them because of the first game. So,
Yep.
love this. 4-player co-op, early 2026. Brand new adventure, a battle across space and time. Yeah.
Let's fucking go. I love that and it's been like this for a minute, right? Like, it started at the Year of Dreams, but I feel like the Year of Dreams has still extended to today, where
Yep.
we're in an era where
Anything
can happen, anything can come back. Oh, you love the Scott Pilgrim game from the PS3 era.
Guess what we got for you?
Guess what? There's another Scott Pilgrim game that's a successor of that. Like, this is fucking awesome.
Gentlemen, I'm being deployed to LA to go play a lot of these games and report on them next week with y'all. So I want you to have a great time playing the Switch, playing Lies of P, having a good time on Saturday. I'm excited to see what you do with this Xbox thing, because I'll be seeing a bunch of games redacted from stuff over there. A lot of things are happening, everybody. That's a wrap on Greg Miller.
Wrap on Greg Miller, everybody.
I know your Princess Di is leaving, but I encourage you to keep watching this, all right?
You just never know what he's gonna say.
He's
really
Prince
don't.
Charles. You're Camilla. You're one of the boys.
Okay.
Have fun, Greg. Tell people I say hi.
Bye, Greg.
Yeah, then we got to the Resident Evil Village on sale section where they got the actress of
Lady
Lady
Dimitrescu.
Yes, she came out and said that the Resident Evil games are on sale, which is like cool, whatever. This is an ad section, but we all had the feeling of like this seems a little too expensive to do this here. We had the ad section, then Mind's Eye again. Mind's Eye for 007 First Light and Hitman and all that stuff. That felt like still an ad, but there was new information, so it's kind of a cross. But Mads Mikkelsen is the target in a limited time event in Hitman.
Le Chiffre.
Laszlo Le Chiffre, which is awesome. One
Really
of my
cool.
favorite of the James Bond villains. So Casino Royale. And having Mads come back, that's awesome. Very cool stuff. But it also, I don't know, something about this just sits with me a little weird.
Oh, why?
Just the way they announced it all and stuff. That's it.
Yeah, it wasn't as exciting as it could have been. I think the big thing is that there's just not hype for Mind's Eye, and then also a Hitman DLC thing isn't an exciting announcement either. Like it's exciting for Hitman fans, but even for me, I'm like, I just play that freelancer mode, which is the roguelike. Like that's what I go back to nowadays. And so, I think for this, you can kind of see the money being thrown around and like the hype, the clout being thrown around as far as them bringing Mads Mikkelsen, Jeff seeing like all this shit and being like, well, if we can get Mads Mikkelsen on stage, we can. But obviously, this is a very far cry from Keanu Reeves coming out during Cyberpunk, right? Like this felt kind of, I think, forced is probably the word for it.
I guess my thing is, and when the day the game comes out, if it's awesome, which I hope it is, that's going to be great. I just feel they're doing themselves a disservice to talk about James Bond as much as they are back to back right now in these like tiny little chunks. And I think it's even worse to
muddling the message.
associate it with Hitman, like in a way that, well, no, it's James Bond, but it's not our James Bond. But there's James Bond things that are cool and exciting happening in Hitman. I think it really just makes everything feel like how Hitman has just continuously been coming out. James Bond should feel different. It shouldn't feel like we're just continuing that trend, even though everyone loves Hitman.
Yeah.
It's like...
It feels like they're still navigating being a publisher and being a multi-game dev now and what that means and how they connect their things together. Because, like, it muddies the message, and, like, I'll lump in Mind's Eye to that conversation of...
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, like, Mind's Eye really muddies the message as far as what the fuck is up with that, right? Like, not only is that all right, nobody cares about this thing, but then you couple that with, if you're in the know, all right, the executives from that studio just left. Like, that game seems like something that's just a trash fire as far as we're concerned. And so, connecting that to Hitman and James Bond and having that all just be this weird thing that's ever going. Yeah, it's weird.
Then we got Lego Party. It's Mario Party, but in Lego form.
Let's
which,
go.
It's one of those ones where I can't be mad at this. This
No.
game probably should exist, but it's not exciting at a showcase.
Should it exist at this showcase is the question.
This game should have existed in 2003.
It probably did as well.
And also, honestly, still probably should exist, right? Like, I think there's a fun market
Totally.
for this, but also, like
It's
a summer
so
game
ugly,
fest
man.
thing.
Why does it look so flat?
Because it's a cheap party game.
Yeah.
They
It's a
put all the
mini-game
resources
collection.
into the cute looking co-op
Yeah,
one.
but like I don't know. I don't know.
Then we got Wildgate. Open beta next week, July 24th. PC, PS, and Xbox. It's Sea of Thieves in space, kinda, says Andy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'll be playing this unless we put it on the schedule to stream it. I mean, it's fun enough. It's just something that I'm not anticipating for that demo to become installable or for the beta to be playable.
Then we had Ill.
Dude,
Mundfish published game.
I mean, this looks terrifying, but
wet and disturbing.
looked amazing. Visually, this is like I think the most impressive thing we saw here.
Yes, you're right. This one looks. This was a lot of dongs, a lot of butts, a lot of naked people, a lot of big things, a lot of small things.
Yeah.
Yep.
Didn't like it. It was too much for me. Very scary. I'm like, I don't want to play that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna scream a lot if I play that. Maybe I should stream it.
Yeah.
If you want to hear me scream a lot,
I don't like
let's
the
do
hands.
this.
I don't like that. No.
It looks crazy good visually. I mean, it's this and the Puppet game that were the most stunning visual things that always seemed like you were watching a CG cutscene.
Yeah. Like, it's kind of unbelievable. Every single fucking
it's
scene. is
wild.
the lighting in it and stuff. So, yeah, this is.
Ugh.
Keep your
fuck
eye on this one. Then we had Mecha Break coming July 1st.
Okay.
Andy's talked about that before.
I'm tired of this game. I'll be honest. I'm excited for it, but I'm also tired of this game. No more trailers. Just put the game out. Do a launch trailer on your YouTube channel. Keep it there though.
And block me.
I don't want to see it.
Infinitesimals coming from an 8-person studio, Epic Publishing, coming 2026. It's a third-person action-adventure game where players assume the role of the leader of an elite alien squadron. What'd y'all think?
I appreciated some of the art design and the sci-fi concepts of how their vehicles looked and things like that, but it looks like a game that doesn't run great. And I got that feeling from the trailer where it felt like in some of the gameplay moments that they were showing off, I could see some of the chug. I could see things maybe just not working out good enough, so they put a bunch of motion blur on it. I don't know. It seems like a game that I'll wait for people to play, and I'll probably be playing something else at the time anyway.
Also, you skipped my game of the show, Blighted.
Oh, shit, did I? I did.
Yeah.
Drinkbox, co-op, coming soon to Steam. A brand new Metroidvania action RPG where players... Metroidvania?
Oh, that changes everything. What? I thought it was a Hades like.
What? I kind of like that. The idea of a Hades Metroidvania? Huh.
Yeah, I need to watch. I need to
Interesting.
rewatch this trailer again. With this
Harnessing
context.
blight by defeating enemies will change the world around you, modifying combat encounters, unlocking hidden paths, and more. Award-winning composer Jim Guthrie, who did Sword and Sorcery Below and Nobody Saves the World, is also back as composer, lending his skills to create an eerie feel to this devastated world. Interesting.
Art
I
style
like
looks
that in
fantastic.
concept, yes.
Yeah, I was not expecting that to be a Metroidvania, but yeah, their art style is fucking insane. Like it's crazy that Drinkbox has still remained Drinkbox, right? Like going back to Guacamelee and what they do with that, but looking at this looks like a Drinkbox game, but it looks like a Drinkbox game stepped into the future, and like they found something cool to do with the visuals, and I like how much of it I also like how much Hades I see in this game, just as far as like the perspective and like the combat and like how it moves and flows. Real excited for this.
Yeah, something about their art style is just really doing it for me.
Yeah.
We got to get back to that one roguelite.
I need to clarify this, but CJ Splitson says that's the exact same team they said were making a God of War game. Jeff Grubb must have fucked up his info.
They said Drinkbox were making a God. No. What?
Yeah, CJ, give me some more on that. I trust you, bro.
They're saying Drinkbox was making the God of War game? I don't remember hearing that.
Yeah, I don't think anybody said that.
Let me
Unless
know.
that was something else.
Let me know.
I don't know.
Misinformation. Resident Evil, dude, then broke our hearts. Fucking hype as hell. She's back. Cool, they're actually doing this. Resident Evil 30th anniversary, going through all the games. My favorite thing in the world, going through a history of something. And then just a fucking turd. They shat on the screen, blessing.
Yeah.
I could not believe it. But it was an obvious tease of like, oh, we'll be back in a... They said it in such a weird way, but it's Capcom. Capcom are so fucking weird that you never know. You never know, Andy.
Yeah.
God, that pissed me off, though.
I could see the disappointment and the annoyance and like, oh, fuck would you do that?
Yeah.
You looked so betrayed.
It's just like, it's upsetting. Like, it's not, again, I said this earlier, but like, it's not funny. It's not cool. It's just like, I feel like they clearly tried something and I think they missed the mark so hard.
Yeah, it felt like playing with our emotions more than like doing a cheeky, maybe we'll see this thing later kind of thing. Like this should have felt like if you're gonna have this moment, which I don't think you should have, it should have felt like a baton pass to what was gonna come at the end of the show, and they just did not frame this correctly at all.
Yeah. Then we got the Street Fighter 6 Fighter Pass with Kenny Omega. Kind of fun commercial
Super fun,
thing.
yeah.
Then Last Flag coming from Night Street Games, Ultimate Game of Capture the Flag. This is I think a victim of showcases where like game looks cool, concept's cool, but when you're just next to all the stuff like 2 hours into this thing, it doesn't really stand out at all.
Yeah, and I think for me it's also a victim of, I know that this, as I'm watching this gameplay, right, I'm like, there's so much original stuff they got going on here, but at the same time it's hard for me to not come out of this being like, oh, you want to make a Team Fortress like thing, even if it's not one for one what Team Fortress 2 is. And I think I'm starting to get a fatigue with seeing games that look and feeling so directly inspired by other games. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, okay, cool. This is what this is. Okay, this is a Hades. Okay, this is a Team Fortress 2. I kind of get that from here.
Yeah. Then we got Wu Chong, Fallen Feathers.
Andy ruined my hype for this game. I was excited for this game until Andy played it and was like, it's all right.
I mean, maybe it was just a section that they showed me. I just don't think that they showed. I don't think that they showed off the section that they should have. Because every other time I see it, I'm like, damn, I would have rather played whatever this part of the video game is. It gets real gooner. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dang.
like
I'm not gonna
they
touch
start
this
you
game.
off. They started me off in the demo way early on, and you're just like playing as you're just doing a thing. You're a gal and a freaking the freaking karate samurai type shit, and then like they were like, all right, now we're gonna fast forward to a future portion of the game, and like things are jiggling all over the place.
Oh.
It's like like different costumes. If you notice at the end of the trailer, they showed off different costumes you get with the whatever collector's edition, and she gets real sexy. And it was like, oh, you're going for that.
The me that just appeared beside us should be hearing this.
You know, he's of age.
Doesn't seem interested.
You gotta protect its virgin ears.
Good lord.
I mean, there's definitely some really cool visuals in some boss fights that I'd want to experience, but I don't know if they showed off the best portion that they should have at GDC. So something I definitely want to try out and hope that it is better. It has a really neat concept where if you die and you lose your souls or whatever, every once in a while there will be a red phantom that, as you're going to get your souls, will try to protect them from you picking them up or whatever, and you have to like fight that phantom in order to like earn them back. So that happens. There's like some neat concepts here and there. So don't.
I'm gonna look towards you. I'm gonna let you.
Don't let me completely write it
when
off.
you get the review.
Let me
code-
say this before the chat goes away. CJ Splitson says, I read on Reset Era. It wasn't confirmed. Some people said it was Mega Cat Studios. Some said it was MCS in support of Drink Boss. I'm sorry. Thank you very much for your clarification.
Thank you, CJ Splitson.
We appreciate that, CJ. I knew to trust you. Continue.
But yeah, I'm gonna let you when we get the review code for this one, or if you would just pick it up post launch. I'm gonna let you be the determiner for me of do I pick it up, the tastemaker, because I can't waste my time with action games that aren't worth it.
With Souls likes.
There's so many Souls likes and action games that are coming out, and it's getting harder and harder to like sort through the ones that really deserve the Lies of P's of the world. You know what I mean? Because Lies of P deserves my time.
It does. You're absolutely right. Now, whenever it comes out, if we have a clear enough schedule, I say we give it each 2 hours.
Oh, I could do that. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'm down.
I'm not committing to a review.
Well, yeah.
As per my agent.
We'll commit to a review so far.
Yeah.
Then we transition from Wu Chong to Wu Tang. Rise of the Deceiver.
Cool as
53
shit.
member Brass Lion Entertainment. This game has been announced for years. We've been waiting for it.
Yeah.
Has
it been announced for years, or has it been like rumored?
I guess wasn't it for
No, it's been
just rumors.
No, it's been announced.
Was it announced?
It's been like known for a long time because I know one of the developers used to work at BioWare and worked on Mass Effect 2, and then was they came on stage one time and said like we're working on a Wu-Tang game or whatever.
At Xbox.
Wait, really?
Weren't they
So-
at an Xbox showcase at some point?
I remember there being talk about Xbox with this game, of like some Xbox partnership.
McCarthy says it was never
Announced. I think it was rumors.
There's no way.
I'm almost positive that at some point they announced they're making a Wu-Tang game. I don't think we got the name. The name's
No,
new.
we never got the name, but we knew there was a Wu-Tang like action. Was it action RPG or some shit? Coming
Okay.
from this studio.
I trust McCarthy here saying it was leaked to be with Xbox. It wasn't publicly announced.
That's what I thought. I
So-
think that's what the situation was. Can you show the final screen? Because I was asking Greg this after the showcase if there was a publisher, and it seems like there's no publisher. So I wonder if they've gone now to like being a self-published game.
Mm.
'Cause, yeah, they have Epic on there, they have Steam on there.
There's just two Brass Lions there.
Yeah.
Interesting. In Wu-Tang Rise of the Deceiver, the Wu-Tang Clan must pass on their fantastical powers to a new generation of warriors to save their home of Shaolin. The multiplayer title will recruit players and their friends to fight against the forces of an invasive, corrupting entity called the Deceiver. Up to 3 co-op players will harness. There's 3 of us.
Yep.
Will harness the mystical abilities of the Wu-Tang Clan to fight nightmarish enemies in a surreal dreamscape. As they wage war for the collective soul of Shaolin, players can customize their fighting styles and fashion by collecting powerful jewels and killer gear. Fight, flow, and flex as you experience a dynamic gameplay soundtrack, including classic Wu-Tang songs and new material overseen by legendary producer Just Fucking Blaze.
Oh, this is
Yes!
fucking hype.
I love this because love Just Blaze.
Yep.
Love Wu-Tang Clan
Yeah.
and all the music I've heard. Admittedly, I am not a Wu-Tang Clan knower. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I want to get more familiar with this. Cream, Triumph, like I know the hits, you know what I mean? But like I'm hoping that this is like a deeper dive. But I've always been very into the lore of it all.
I'm the exact same way. Like, funny enough, I think I know more from Wu-Tang Clan individually, more so than Wu-Tang as a group.
Love
Like,
Ghostface.
Love Ghostface
Love
Killer.
Raekwon.
Yep, exactly.
But even every time I say something, somebody's like, Tim, they're not actually. Because I always say Method Man and Redman. Love both of them together and separate. But I don't think Redman's technically a Wu-Tang Clan member.
Yeah, and I've listened to 36 Chambers, but also this is one of those blessing is young situations where by the time I listen to 36 Chambers, I just don't have the palette. And maybe now I do, because I've listened to a lot of Nas. Maybe I should go back to 36 Chambers, because I have redone my palette. But anyway, everything about this fucking game speaks to me. I am shocked by the art style direction, because for how long this game has been rumored, I don't know what I thought this game would look like. I think I thought it would look more like a Def Jam game or something like that.
I'm right there with you.
And so seeing this, I'm like, I'm
Best
delighted.
case scenario, honestly.
This looks fantastic.
Yeah.
I thought it would have looked ass.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way whatever they're doing can be good. And this is like the best outcome possible.
I mean, 53 members at Brass Lion Entertainment, solo developer and 52 of their best friends. Like, that's a good sized team right there.
Yeah. Burslin Vicente says, watch the Hulu show. I did. I enjoyed the Hulu show a lot.
Hulu show.
It's like the origin story. It's a
Like a documentary for a
not
Wu-Tang?
documentary. It's like why am I blanking on this?
Dramatization.
Yes, yeah.
Biopic.
Yeah, but it's a show. So yeah,
Okay.
it's a dramatization of it. But yeah, I enjoyed that a lot. Then we had Guild Wars 2.
I had Liquid Swords by Jizza. That's what I had.
Sick.
I always thought I had a Wu-Tang album, but I bought that at the pawn shop.
Yeah, awesome.
On my fucking stupid ass Walkman with the anti-skip protection. So good.
Anti-skip.
Dude, shout out to that.
Shout out
man.
to anti-skip, bro.
You'd be in the bus and be like, dude, I'm clean, man. Nothing wrong here. No skips here.
Then Guild Wars 2 is there. Then we got some ads. That might have been an ad. I don't know. Then we got Into the Unwell. This looks awesome. I'm very, very excited for it. It has they said a classic animation art style, and I didn't love it in the beginning when they were showing it, but once it cut to like, I don't love how this looks. But then once we get into the gameplay, I was like, I love how this looks.
I also just don't like the character design. I don't know. It's the mascara looking like running for something about it just doesn't look great.
It's almost like AI, like, you know what I mean? Like they asked an AI to make a old school thing.
But
it just looks too clean.
Where it really pops off is when we see it in action and the villains that are approaching the protagonist or the player character, and it's like, shit, I didn't think that could really translate to 3D in this way.
Yeah.
Where Cuphead is very stationary, and even those are like hand drawn, but like some of the 3D characters here, I just would have never expected that style to really work in a 3D environment, and I thought a lot of it looked amazing.
Yeah, gameplay looks really, really cool.
So yeah, very, very interested in this. Then we had Splitgate 2. Launches right now.
Make FPS great again.
What are we
man.
doing? I like this Barrett.
You wouldn't for your game while wearing a stupid hat. Great meme here,
I'm
Barrett.
so convinced that like this Jeff did not know this is happening until he ended up on stage.
It was just such
I
a
feel like he put on the
fumble,
hat
dude.
last second.
I don't know. He came out with a baseball bat looking thing.
Yeah.
Is that a gun? I'm not really sure. Either way, there was a vibe and an energy to it that, like, I could be wrong about this, so I reserve the right to take this back. I think he meant well, and I think he was trying to relate to us in a way of like, bring back those classic games, man. We want this to be cool. It just came off in a really, really, really different way.
Yeah.
When it's like,
Yeah, in 2025, you gotta know what that vibe is.
I'm saying this from personal experience. You can't, when you're that white, you can't do certain things.
Yeah.
I mean, that dude went to like the old Kind of Funny studio and showed off Splitgate to us, and
It was awesome.
super cool
Yeah,
and great.
Splitgate's
And
amazing,
yeah, so
amazing.
I'm with you, Tim. I think it was well-meaning, and it just did not work at all. But again, so yeah, Splitgate's just another one of these amazing-looking multiplayer games that would be the biggest game on the planet if it weren't for a lot of other biggest games on the planet. You know, like it's Charles Barkley in the MJ era. Like you can't get that ring, man. Like even no matter how good you are, and it's such a quality video game. And that's to go back to the, to beat another dead horse. To go back to the Concord discussion, which like if you want to take off your hater hat and be honest and take the truth serum, Concord, a very good serviceable video game. Like it
You
just
appreciate
was. It just is, man. I'm sorry. Like, but it was really, didn't have a great art style, but it also was releasing
was also
in a
$40.
time. It's $40. It wasn't free to play. And there's a lot of games like this that release all of the time that in any other decade would be the biggest game out there, but there's just so many talented devs and so many games and not enough room or time.
Yeah. When we did the beta for this one, I had a really fun time.
Yeah.
And when we played the original, like Splitgate 1, yeah, like I remember.
Rocks.
Also
Just
kick
hard
ass.
stop
Super cool.
rocks.
Yeah. Like there's some. This is if you can go back and watch the stream of this chat. There was a moment near the end of this stream where I had to give Kevin a lot of shit. Tim, I was on like a 38 kill streak. I was frying the most I've ever fried in a game. And I was like, oh, I want to go back to watch that shit. I want to clip out some of the... And like Kevin never had the footage on me. I was like, Kevin, fucking read the room, dude. Like switch the camera for Christ's sake. It was unbelievable work.
Then Project Century gets officially titled Stranger Than Heaven. Very cool name.
Yep.
Very cool looking logo. Sure, it's the minimalist like we've seen. How many times can you make this basic font look cool in any way with just
Unlimited.
geometric shapes? Turns out unlimited.
Unlimited.
This looks fucking awesome. It's from RGG Studio. 1915, the first time we saw it. 1943. This time, maybe it's an entire century, says Greg. Roger Percorni, what do you think of this?
I thought it was really cool. I mean, going from the last trailer, which was in 1915, and this is going to 1945 or something
I knew
like
I
that.
wasn't tripping.
Yeah, so it's really cool. I mean, it's going to take place over a century, right? So I think my theory originally...
Oh, fuck.
Wow.
I mean, that's the idea,
That's
right?
stranger than heaven.
Yeah, I know. My idea originally with this is going to play into somewhat of the origins of the Yakuza franchise, which I still think it probably will, but I don't know. I'm so interested into what this game actually is because I have more questions than I have answers. Like, it seems like it's a detective thing, but it also has like some sim elements, but it also seems like it has like some type of interesting combat that they don't have in the Yakuza franchise yet. It's a lot more questions than answers, but I'm happy that it seems like this game I would think is coming out pretty early next year. That's just my thought or vibe on that. What do you guys think?
Oh, I'm so into this. Like, I think I want this to be my RGG like game, right? If they make this into a series, I want it to be my RGG series. I remember last time they showed it. I hope I'm not conflating this with another game. They showed combat, and it almost looked more like deliberate, like slower than what you typically get out of like the Yakuza stuff, which speaks to me. Like, I want to parry. I want to do all that shit, right?
It looked like it was in that 15 era, which
Yeah.
is why when we see this and it's a bit newer looking, I was like, I don't know, I remember it looking older.
Yeah, it's the same character for sure. Because if you look at both of the cover arts of it, it has like the character has like the same blue eyes or whatever. So it's him over time. So that's an interesting wrinkle.
More like a blue-eyed samurai. Yeah, because you ever watch Blue-Eyed Samurai?
Yeah.
Did you ever watch it, Tim? Tim, did you ever watch it?
Oh, yeah. Dude.
Okay, awesome.
Does that have to do with like the blue-eyed dragon?
No, just like if you're a white person in Japan, they're like, oh, you're a freak. Look at your freaky blue eyes, you freak.
Yeah.
You demon.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus.
God damn.
Not
Stupid
wrong.
There's
blue-eyed
certain things
bitch.
you can't do. But yeah, like but the most I've fallen into an RPG game because for some reason I just keep playing them, and even though I'd never finished them, was Judgment 2. I played quite a bit of Judgment 2, and I fucked with the heavy, and then I started playing something else, right? And like you mentioning the detective aspects of it, I really hope they like take a lot of those things that made Judgment like feel like its own standalone thing, even though there was just so much Yakuza in it as well, right? But like I want them to lean into those elements too, because I love the story of Judgment. I love how much, it felt like an original thing. I think there's so much potential of how they can take those elements, fuse them into Project Century, Stranger Than Heaven.
Yeah, I'm interested to see that, and also I feel like there's going to be, I don't know, I just feel in the air that there's going to be some type of Souls-like element to it. I think.
See, I held
I
back
don't
from
know
saying
why.
Souls-like. I was about to say it, but I didn't want to be the guy.
When I watched the trailer for Project Century and I see some of the combat, I'm like, I feel like there's going to be a parry. I think there's going to be a dodge.
Yeah.
And I'm nervous about that, but I'm also very excited about it because I think right now RGG, I mean, they're doing the virtual fighter game, right? They have Yakuza. They need that third pillar, and I think that this is going to take them into the next generation and potentially influence the Yakuza format and formula because I think it needs that zhuzh up, a little bit of change.
I mean, speaking of that combat, we saw Acts of Blood, and we talked about Sifu. Like, I mean, I would really, really vibe with that if they went a bit deeper with that melee combat. And I'm not talking about getting a shield and parrying anybody, but like Sifu is just such a smooth video game to play and experience. And if they have combat that's trying to reach that level, that would be freaking fantastic. In addition to also having, these narrative moments with characters and cutscenes and mystery. Sounds great.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, Roger.
Bye.
Did you
Wrap
get all
on
the water
Roger.
out of your
That's a
keyboard?
wrap.
No, it is broken.
Oh.
It is broken.
Oh.
I've taken one of the many keyboards that Kevin has that is hiding it under a bunch of 3080s next to his desk.
Great.
Then we wrapped up the show with Resident Evil Requiem. They're playing with it with a Q turned into a 9 a little bit, but then it went
Perfect.
away.
Amazing.
This looks fucking awesome. I'm a big fan of Resident Evil. Admittedly, do not keep up with the lore in any type of way where you could ask. It's not like me with the MCU where I'm just like, oh, I know everything and I want to know everything if I don't know it, right? With Resident Evil, I'm more like, I'm in it. I like the big story beats, whatever. I don't like when it starts getting incredibly supernatural and adding all this shit. And we're at a point now, 9 core entries in, that's where we're at. I like that this starts off a bit more, dare I say, grounded with this whole little situation we got in the beginning where we're questioning, what is this? Is it Resident Evil? And then getting into it, we get some of that supernatural, but love the idea of going back to Raccoon City. Love the idea of going to familiar places that we've been in the original core games. But on top of that, them talking about a hotel. I love a good site to be in a Resident Evil, and a hotel sounds like a great kind of like, all right, we did the mansion, what else can we do that's like that? And it's funny, Luigi's Mansion 1 in a mansion, Luigi's Mansion 3 hotel, and it works out real well.
It's great having that new gimmick. It's
Yeah.
John Wick going, we did the knives fight. Oh, now we're doing these shotgun fire fights, and what's the new one gonna do?
Yeah, so I'm stoked on this. I'm very happy that it doesn't seem to be a follow-up to Village and 7. Like, thank God this is not the Winter's Kid. That excites me. I definitely need to know more. It sounds like we're going to get gameplay at, it's going to be playable at Gamescom. We got the release date. Like, a lot of this stuff, very stoked about. I can't wait to this weekend watch YouTube videos from people that like can piece together and kind of explain to me more like the context of this. But so far, very into it. Would have loved to get even just a hint of the gameplay to know, is it third person? Is it first person? But all the stuff they're showing, fucking sick.
Yeah, this looks fucking incredible. And also, I just put it together. That's not the Winter Trial. I don't know why I thought the kid was named Grace. Because as soon as they said Grace, that's what clicked it. That it's RE9 for me. And Grace is a new character, right? Like have we seen this character before?
As-
No,
Aside from-
as far as I know, we haven't. But what's funny of you saying that is like they said Grace Ashmore, and I jumped. I'm like, oh, it's Resident Evil, but like I do not know this Ashmore character from
Or
Outbreak.
Ashcroft or Ashmore?
Ashcroft. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ashcroft.
But also, I think it was just also the thing in my brain where I just know what Resident Evil or Capcom games look like. And like partway through this trailer, it's like, okay, this very much is giving Capcom. Really cool announcement. Really interesting that it's here instead of PlayStation State of Play. But like, who cares as long as we're getting the trailer? February of next year. Like, I love that that's not too far away, right? We're still getting that cadence of Resident Evil is consistent when putting out big AAA releases, and that part of it definitely blows me away, but also good on Resident Evil for always staying relevant and staying consistent. And yeah, like I'm all in on the hotel setting and whatever they're gonna do with this. I'm somebody who still needs to go back and play RE1. Thankfully thanks to the remakes, I'm mostly caught up now on the Resident Evil franchise. But like you popping off for the crater and like you revisiting Raccoon City and all that stuff. Actually, no, was that 2?
The crater is the end of 2 and 3.
You're right. That is
Yeah.
the end of 2 and 3. Fuck.
It's cool.
Fuck. Actually, no,
That's
is
cool, right?
Okay, now
Yeah.
I'm caught up to speed. Yeah, no, that's really exciting.
Yeah, very, very, very cool stuff. So we'll see. But also RE1, just so you know, it's not the RE2 remake and 3 remake, but the GameCube remake of 1 that was then remastered for HD consoles, and they continue to do it. It holds up today. It's not the exact same gameplay. It is more of that old school. It's hard to explain, but like it is more modern than you think, but it's not as modern as RE2 and stuff.
Gotcha.
But like I think that you could have a good time with it, and it's only like 10 hours. If even. Yeah. So maybe that's a stream or something.
Maybe that's a
little
stream or
spooky
something.
I don't know. Any final thoughts on this Summer Game Fest?
I think going through the announcements has gotten me a little bit more hyped than I was right than I was right at the end of the showcase. Yeah, like I just wish it was paced better. I wish it was constructed better, but I'm really excited for a lot of these games, you know, like Resident Evil Requiem, Project Sentry, like we talked about, Into the Unwell, the Muppet looking game. Like there's so much here. Blighted, there's so much here that like for me signals still an exciting next few years for games coming out. And yeah, I'm excited coming off of this.
I saw somebody in the chat ask, did the me give his review of the showcase? Unfortunately, the me, no.
He's sad.
Yeah.
He's quiet.
A lot of his friends were lost in the last 24 hours. So,
Do you know where your me is? That's our question to you. If
Find
you got to
your
switch
me's.
to, do you know where your me is? It's 10 o'clock.
Where is it, everybody? We're going to be back on Sunday for the Xbox Showcase. We're going to be live reacting to it and then giving our post-show breakdown. So stay tuned. Be here. Twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames, YouTube.com/kindoffunnygames. And for tomorrow, enjoy your day. Have fun. Spend some time with some friends or some family, maybe some video games. Either way, be well and remember where your me is. If you see him, don't lose him.